I was at January 6th. It was nothing like they portray on TV, the news and all that. It's just a big farce. So
can I introduce you to somebody? Pam. Pam. She was also at January 6th. So she was at January 6th too.
So you know, January 6th, which you hear on TV, is nothing like what it was.
Yeah, it was a riot. It was an insurrection.
Oh, it was an insurrection.
Yes, it was an insurrection.
Yeah, but I don't believe that Trump was the one that...
Yes, he was. He had a plan. Why would you want everybody to go down to the Capitol when you've already had a talk?
I want y'all to pay attention to this video from Luke Beasley because it's truly quite astonishing.
I covered a couple days ago my interviews with Trump supporters outside of Trump's Conway, South Carolina rally, and I briefly showed a clip at the end of a woman by the name of Pam Hemphill saying that she used to be in the MAGA cult, but shows like this one helped her get out. Well, there was more that I wanted to dedicate a full segment to of her actually confronting a Trump supporter over their cult-like devotion to Trump. And before playing the rest of that, of course, the background on Pam Hemphill is that she actually went to prison for her actions on January 6th. She did breach the Capitol, wasn't violent, but did violate the law. And so as she now says, she had to be held accountable, and she was. And since getting out of prison, she has deprogrammed herself, incredibly, and become a staunch critic of Donald Trump and the MAGA movement. And she so happened to be at this rally to warn people of the danger of Trump. So we talked, and then I pulled her into one of the interviews. Here's the rest of it.
And before we play the rest of that clip, we really just need to take a moment and applaud this woman. She has deprogrammed herself, an avid Trump supporter. It is almost unheard of for that to happen. So good for her. We need more people like her in this country if we're going to have any hope of progress towards a brighter future in this country. Okay, here's the rest of the clip.
Well, I was down there where Trump was giving his speech, and he says, let's go to the Capitol peacefully. Now, what you may not know is...
Fight like hell.
And you saw so many Antifa and BLM that you couldn't number them.
The judge has not prosecuted one Antifa, and it's been debunked. The ones that were putting on the Trump clothes were Trump supporters.
Here's a question for the two of you. She used to be a hardcore Trump supporter. This is an interesting question, okay? Why do you think that she now perceives Trump supporters to be in a cult?
I don't know. That's her opinion. We're all entitled to an opinion.
It's a cult. I'm sorry.
But I know Jesus Christ is coming soon, and my agenda here is to let people know that whether you're on the right or the left, Jesus is coming. And he's not going to pick sides except for the right side of truth. And that's it. And he knows the beginning from the end. He knows who's being truthful. He knows who's being deceptive.
You know truth. If he interviews 5 people, they all have the truth about a car accident, right? She says it's a brown car. She says it's a light brown. So everybody has their truth, but there's facts that you can't deny, right?
This video is a lot like seeing the Loch Ness Monster or Bigfoot in the woods. It's hard to believe what you're seeing. A former Trump supporter deprogrammed herself is now debunking a current avid MAGA loyalist. Like, I did not have that on my 2024 bingo card. Now, the calls to de-radicalize MAGA has been happening for a while now. And recently, Hillary Clinton echoed her thoughts on the matter in an interview with CNN.
Many of those extremists, those MAGA extremists, take their marching orders from Donald Trump, who has no credibility left by any measure. He's only in it for himself. He's now defending himself in civil actions and criminal actions. And when do they break with him? You know, because at some point, you know, maybe there needs to be a formal deprogramming of the cult members, but something needs to happen.
And how do you do that? Because you said you have to defeat them by defeating their leader. Their leader is Donald Trump. Even you have said that you expect him to be the Republican nominee. How does this change at all?
At this point, I think, sadly, he will still likely be the nominee, and we have to defeat him. And we have to defeat those who are the election deniers, as we did in 2020 and 2022. And we have to, you know, just be smarter about how we are trying to empower the right people inside the Republican Party.
And that's easier said than done when you have guys like this next one making up huge portions of the Republican Party.
The Earth is flat. Where is the sun? It's 93 million miles away? The sun at any given time, and when you say the sun, there is no the sun. Everybody has their own sun.
What do you mean?
Literally.
What do you mean literally?
Literally, everybody has their own sun. There's a different sun for everybody.
What do you mean a different
Everywhere.
sun? I don't understand that. Like, you mean you're saying that there's a different sun here in Las Vegas than there is in New York?
You're not looking at the same sun there, correct?
So how many suns are there?
As many people who are viewing it.
So every individual person has their own
That's
sun?
correct.
What?
That is correct. The sun's no more than 50 miles away at any given time. And it's
50,
just,
wait. But
and
wait a
it's
second.
and it's
But
just a light
airplanes
in
go up
sky,
in the sky.
and that's right. And it's like a rainbow.
How come
And
the sun doesn't get bigger when you're in an airplane?
The closer you move to it, the farther it moves from you. It's like a rainbow. And the sun isn't a thing.
This is going to break me, man. This is going to break me.
The sun is literally not a thing. The
What?
sun-
Wait
the
a
sun-
second.
Yeah, no, it's not like a burning ball of gas or any of that bullshit. Yeah, it's
What is the sun then?
It's cold.
The sun is cold.
The sun is cold.
My brain is literally screaming. I wouldn't be surprised either if he thinks that the Earth is flat simply because maps are flat. That guy is a perfect example of just how many morons are turning their backs on objective facts, science, and reality. And it's even more horrifying knowing that this is going on going into a presidential election year with one candidate literally openly admitting to craving about being a dictator. Look, it's easy for us to cast aside these fringe far-right wing lunatics as a lost cause or not have any hope at reaching them because they say crap like this. But seriously, all is not lost, even if it feels that way. Evidence to the contrary? The woman in the beginning, who deprogrammed herself, and there are so many other people who have done that exact same thing. And you're looking at one of those individuals. Personally, I grew up in a very Christian, conservative Southern home, and without critical thinking, I just assumed the political affiliation with my parents, Republican. And I just wanted to blend in and follow suit. It wasn't about the politics or the ideas or the policies. It was about the herd mentality and the groupthink, because I just wanted to be a part of something. Doesn't that sound familiar, Trump supporters? And it wasn't until I actually did some deep research, I went to college, I was exposed to so many different people with different sets of knowledge and ideas, and I had people that were around me that actually had the patience, the empathy, and the care to help me understand and piece things together. They didn't hold judgment knowing that I came from a place where I just, as a way to blend in, assumed the political affiliation of folks around me, but they actually held my hand. They helped foster empathy and critical thinking so that they could de-radicalize me from that upbringing. And it was their patience, their empathy, their critical thinking that actually inspired much of my politics today. They gave me courage and welcomed me in despite knowing where I came from. And that is what is so important. My overall point with this video is that there are many folks out there that are just like this. And they haven't been given that adequate care, love, support, that critical thinking has just not been there. Now, again, it takes a personal step of courage to deprogram yourself. And you can't always give that, but what you can do is plant a seed. And I promise that that progress is worth it. My name is Scott Johnson. If you want to see more of me and my tiny little hands, you can follow me on my TikTok, which is in the description box below. We're close to hitting 100,000 followers. You can also find my YouTube, which is also in the description box. But most importantly, if you want to see more videos from awesome creators like me, then please subscribe to this channel and click that little bell thingy for notifications. I promise it's worth it. I promise it's worth it.